cover, some things I definitely want to touch on. I really want this to be more interactive. So, if there's any questions you have, feel free to ask away, type them in the chat. Either I'll see them or I'll be sharing my screen, so I might not be able to see them. So maybe Alexa, you could keep an eye on that for me.
Yeah.
That'd be great. But we'll dive in. So the end game after this hour or so is that you should be able to go on to your command platform and utilize designs at some type of level, right? You should be able, after this, be able to go on, and as long as you're set up, be able to do some marketing content, do some social media content, maybe even create some landing pages and things like that. Sound good? Cool. So let me share my screen here. And just so we're all on the same page, I am logged in as my wife. So I'm on her command platform. So I can show you exactly what it looks like from the agent side when you log into this stuff. The very first thing that you guys should definitely check out is just go to, I gotta move this still here. Just go to your settings in your drop-down menu and just make sure that you have things connected. So go in and make sure that your Facebook post scheduling is connected, and your Gmail and your Facebook ads manager. Those are really important for utilizing the designs, because that's how you're going to be sending things out. And if everyone is already connected to command mail, one thing that I would do, because you're going to be emailing some of this stuff out too, one thing I would suggest is just diving into the command mail manage and make sure whatever email that you actually want to be communicating to people through is the one that's linked up to that. So if you have an @KW email address, but you want to use your @Gmail address, just make sure that's what's linked up to command mail. The other thing to make sure that you have set up to make designs really simple to use is this marketing profile, which is in your Connect settings. Make sure you have a photo and your company logo. If you need this logo, reach out to Alexa and she'll get it to you. But in order for you to be able to plug and play at a higher level, you need to have those two things in there. So the biggest things that people are using, design for right away are your under contracts or just sold, just listed, those type of things. And primarily, they're doing that on social media. So if you haven't played around with designs at all, keep note that all the different formatting sources, from email, landing page, social, you can even design your postcards, flyers, things like that all through here, and purchase them through command or download them and send them to your printer. But you can do that all through here. Your agent site and video content as well can all be done in the command designs area. But let's do social posts, because they are quick and easy, and easy for you to put up. If you have designs that you've done or things you put together or any type of marketing content, you can import PDFs into here and be able to edit them from here. So Alexa, the thing that I sent you to create, if you download that as a PDF and you import it into, you can then modify, add names, and edit the content.
Oh, that's great.
So just a tip for you. You don't need to necessarily click this, because you're going to get to that point anyway, but obviously you're going to want to be able to do, can somebody just put a listing they have or are working on or are associated with in the chat, and I'll use that listing for our deal here.
Does it have to be active?
Yes.
I'm out.
So maybe it could also be pending.
No, mine is TO.
Oh, it could be one of Deidre's.
Yeah, that's it.
If
It's
you,
TO.
uh, okay. So let's use, I'll use the one my wife just put under. So this feeds into the MLS, or feeds from the MLS. So if you have listings on here, you'll be able to pull them right in. So what's nice about that is it makes that process between getting like the pictures and stuff like that a little bit even easier. So the first thing we'll do, and look, there are, like if you actually expanded these, hundreds of different templates already in here. Like unless you want to get really crazy and are very, very creative, you don't really have to create that much yourself. If you're looking for just like plug and play content. But let's say that I know this house is under contract, right? So I'll just pick one. And let's say she wants to do a Facebook post saying that this house is under contract. So you would just pick one of the templates. And like I said, these templates are very plug and play. So again, it's a pretty good, just general template. But let's say that, and it's important to note that each one of these things is its own item on the screen, right? So like all these different words, this circle is a different item than this little white line. Let's just say for convenience sake, if you put that listing in initially, it automatically pulls the listing photos from the MLS, which is really cool. So you don't have to go like looking for it and searching for it. And the other nice thing is if you're doing a just listed and we'll do one of those real quick too, well, you can pull the listing details right from here as well. So if you don't want to flip between your notes and the MLS and designs, it'll pull all of this information. So settle date, square footage, bedroom, bathrooms, this type of information, and it actually even pulls your description in as well. And you'll use that, and I'll show you what that looks like on the Facebook ads. So that's where you would use that, or really anything, but that's the easiest place to use it. So let's say you want to just do a quick change out some of these things, make sure you're the address, and add the pictures that you want to the back. So you can search by your listing. Say you want to use this one. So if you click on it, and there's a reason I clicked on it. So if you click on it, it'll come up as another thing to add to the overall content. You're not going to want to do that because it makes it a little bit confusing. There's an easier way to do it. And if you want this back end picture replaced, this is just the actual background. So if you highlight any picture that you want and you put on, go over the little grid, it's going to say use as background. So when you click use as background, it's going to automatically replace the background image and add your image in. So let's say she wants to use this picture. Obviously, we're not KWDBA, so the easiest way to add your logo in, and this is why I said it's really important to really important to add your marketing profile and add your logo into that, is if you were to get out of this and go to your library, you'll find a lot of information as far as like your name and content, your email address. All this pulls from the marketing platform, the marketing profile. It's important to remember that because when you're adding, let's say you're making business cards or you're making really anything, the easiest possible thing to do is just plug and play right from there. I am working on getting our logo. So if you were to go to logos, and you'll have your logo already in here, you just plug and play right into where the DBA wants set, and then you can make it as big or as small as you like. This little disclaimer should be on all of your content that you put out. Make it very, very small. The small little each office is independently owned and operated disclaimer. You're going to make that as small as possible because you don't want it to take up like a huge, big chunk of your content, obviously. If you wanted to, let's say, add your headshot to this. If you wanted to add your headshot to this, you would get into the pictures section, which is not letting me edit that right now. So once you add the logo, you add the picture that you want, which you pulled from the MLS, the KWLS, which is the option right there. Once you pull it, it doesn't allow you to re-pull it. So one thing to remember. If you want to change the picture that you got, obviously feel free to do that. I'll show you guys with some market snapshots too if you want to create like a really nice like quick, here's the market snapshot for whatever zip code that you want to do. I'll show you that in a quick second. But let's say you want to add your headshot to this, which is what I was looking for before. You could just add your headshot in. Oh boy, make sure that it's you're using the exact spot you want to add it to, obviously. Just click and drag. So let's say you want to add your, and it's really important to make a note on these. When you add your picture in, make sure you're adding in like the highest quality one that you can find. So like you saw the first one, a little blurry. This one's obviously very, very clear. Let's say you just want to add your picture in here so that people know that you were part of this deal here. So add your picture in. So now you can quickly edit the under contract. So let's say you want to, instead of having the full address, for example, I'm going to hide this little box. Instead of having the full address, you want to just say that it was under contract in 3 days. You would just click, and I did that really quickly, but you just click the typewriter tab, and I'll show you on the next screen where that's at. Let's say great renovated home under contract in 3 days, and then save. So obviously, look, if you're creative, you can change all these pictures. You can change all of these colors if you have a different type of color scheme or anything like that. But for the sake of time, I want to show you guys a couple different things. You can change that text, put that right in there. Let's say you want to, and again, that typewriter tool that I clicked on to get to the text is right here, in case you're ever looking for it, which you will be. But let's say you want a little bit nicer font. So you would just click the little font button, and they have all these fonts already in here. Let's say you want to do, we'll do a dancing script, a cursive type deal. Make it a little fancy. And you want to make them a little bit off center. Keep note of as you're doing this, if you want to make the same sizes for different words. So if you want under and contract to be the same exact size, it tells you the size up here that you have that. So if you've expanded it using the dots and it's a custom size, it'll tell you right here what that size is when you click on it. So this is just saying that it's 94, So if you want 94 for a contract, you just type that in there, and then obviously make sure that it's the size that you want. If this was a longer term thing, I would make this a lot more, I go a little bit crazier with this stuff, but you get the general gist of this, right? So now you have an easy under contract with a quick note that you got it under contract during in 3 days. You don't have to put the address. Some people would like to do that. Some people don't like to do that. With the KW Philadelphia logo, with the privacy statement, with a headshot. So you can easily just download this with this button here and or social media, or if you were doing an email or anything like that, you would just download it. And it's already, this is already formatted for social media, because if you remember how we got into it, we clicked the social media icon. So this is formatted to be in a nice little square on your social media. You can also share directly from the design screen. So once this loads, you have your Facebook, you have your Instagram already put up, set up in here. You would just share it right to your Facebook. I won't do that on this one because I don't want it to go live. It was just a quick thing, but you can share it directly to your Facebook through Designs. And that's kind of where there's a lot of different platforms. You know, there's Canva, there's a Photoshop, there's a lot. But the ability to share to your social media that's attached right through command, or share it to your email right through command, like that stuff makes it just so much more efficient, right? So we did this whole thing in a few minutes. Again, you can change the colors of everything that you want to have your own shapes, drawings, frames, depending on how crazy you want to get, and ultimately create something really, really nice. So let's go back and we'll create something else. And the whole point of this, again, is just to do a couple quick creations to show you how easy it is to do that. So one social media post that's been really popular are the neighborhood snaps. So I want to show you guys how you can create them super, super easily. Again, if you are a Facebook user, great. If you're Instagram, great. But there are already all of these templates in here. So one thing that you could do, let's say you want to do looking to sell in, and we'll do Fishtown. All right, so the template's already in here. And again, these are all individual things. I want to show you what's really cool on this neighborhood snapshot thing here. Instead of having to figure out how to pull all this information, again, it links up to the MLS. So when you click neighborhoods, you can actually get some good neighborhood stock pictures. I suggest, I was not using stock because it might not be the neighborhood you want to work on, but let's say you are a more creative person and you do photography and you have pictures or snapshots of the Fishtown neighborhood. You can upload your pictures and put them right onto here. It's very, very simple. Let's say you want to do a neighborhood snapshot of one of the neighborhoods in Fishtown. So let's do, I don't like east because of information. We'll do Fishtown North. So again, keep in mind the integration for the neighborhoods all comes from KW's integration to Nextdoor and the MLS. So that's where it's pulling this information from. So you see how this is in here already? This is one item. So in order to just replace it really quickly, you pick what snapshot you want to do. So it has like this map that you can put on. If you want to do a different design and just have the pricing in here, that's fine. But if you want to just plug and play, make it even easier for yourself, this image, you just click on the image, pull, and drag into the screen. So once that accounts that's in there, it gets really clear, and it gives you the updates that you need for Fishtown North. And obviously this can be done for any neighborhood in the next door system. So if you want to do it in Rittenhouse, if you want to do it in Society Hill, you want to do it in suburban neighborhood A, you can do that all through here. One other nice thing that you can do, so let's say you want to put, instead of just like a stock image, you want to actually put one of your own images in here from a listing that you did. Can someone just type in a listing in Fishtown? It can be closed, I believe. Even one you know of, one that you just showed, just so I can use it for this experiment here. If you type that into the chat, that would be ideal. All right, let's see if I can just find one. So what I usually do, if I'm looking for one of these for an agent to do and they don't have listings, so this is for like maybe a newer agent or anybody like that who doesn't have a ton of listings in certain areas, and I'm looking for a listing, I just go on the app and just find one. So let's do, someone do a chat. That's my girl, Tori, coming in the clutch. I'll try to do Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's that one.
Okay, cool. So again, it's going to pull the information in, right? So it's going to pull the pictures, going to pull listing details, all that in. I always suggest, if you can, use a listing you're familiar with, another agent has in the brokerage, to put into this to make it more localized, right? So let's say that you want to do this image, and you can pick any image you want, but let's say you want to do this image because it's a neighborhood snapshot, and that's a good picture of the outside of the home. And from looking at that and from being familiar with the Fishtown area, you can obviously tell that is a pretty good representation of what the homes look like in general. But let's say you want it to do one of these like nicer aerial ones, you can put that in there instead, right? Or one of these like really cool rooftop ones, you can put that in. So let's call it this one. To change the DBA, again, you're just going to go to the logos. Your libraries are going to be pulled up. Pop the DBA in there and make this as big or as small as you would like. All right, so you want to put that right there. That little statement. What's that?
So it's a nice roof deck.
That is a nice roof deck. Is this your house?
It's not.
Oh, well, this is a nice roof deck. But you can put that in there. The little like blurb about being independently owned and franchised is already in there. And then literally you would just change this, type the typewriter tool. Looking to sell in Fishtown, or if you want to, yeah, we'll keep sell. So look, now again, this is an easy to send out. It's done. It took what, 5 minutes or less. We got a legit listing, so it localizes the area. We have the market snapshot that you didn't have to create. You just plug and play. You quickly update, change it to the neighborhood that you want, add the logo in, and boom. Now you can send this out on social media, on Twitter, or not on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, a quick Facebook post. You can even use this stuff as like paid ads, which we'll dive into. But I recommend doing a little bit more customization on those. But look, that's a pretty easy, and I'm sure you guys can all agree, a pretty easy way to create content. That's like nice looking, but not difficult, because that is the key to all this stuff. I want to do one more of these like templated things, and then I'll dive into some other cool things in designs that can be really helpful. So let's say you want to, so right now, right? So obviously it's a really good time to put out like caring or like thank you to first responders type posts. So those are all in here already. So if you go to the, after all drop downs, there's always going to be new designs and there's pivot shift ahead designs. So the pivot designs are obviously all, you know, based on like the changing. So a lot of these are just nice little like things you can send out. These are all Instagram content. I posted this coloring book on our page the other day. I know some people sent it out and it got some pretty good feedback. So like I'll just use that for example. So look, it's just a coloring book. Oh, this is the Instagram version. Sorry. Let me go to the full one. Because this is just, that was just the front cover. Really nice thing in here. If you do a lot of Zoom meetings like I do, they actually have all of these, like Tori, you could probably take advantage of some of these too. They already have all these like cool little things in here that you can just plug like your logo in or whatever content you want, and you can just do the virtual background on Zoom, which are pretty nice. My computer's not strong enough to do it, so that's where I'm at. But if you went to, you're right, exactly. So let's say you just want to do a quick little thank you Instagram post, right? So you choose whatever one you want. I've seen this one used a lot, right? So I'll just dive into this one. This isn't a thank you post, but it's one of those popular like choose one of these type of houses deals. Literally all you do, it's a cute little pre-designed, already made thing. You plug and play your logo into the bottom here to cover the other logo or to replace the other logo. And literally you can now just send that out onto your Instagram. Save it, send it, you know, do a story. These type of things get a lot of responses. I know I've responded to them, even though I know why people are doing them. I still fall for them because they're fun. But you can easily do that. That took not even 30 seconds. But again, just another good example of how easily you can create this content to send out. And I'll show you another way to do this as well. There's another one I wanted to show you guys. But you can look, all these different templates are already in here. So all of these, you know, thank you to first responders, thank you to the heroes, the gratitude posts. These are really good just to send out. And this is always a good spot to look for the new designs too. So if you're doing we'll do a for sale post really quickly. There's one I wanted to show you guys. So we'll dive into like a just listed post, right? I mean, these are the most popular things in the world to throw out. You can easily just click on one. And again, it's just plug and play. So I'm doing a couple of different ones of this, but the point of this part of what I want to cover is when I'm done this one, you'll have seen that we created like 4 or 5 different quick, good, that will gain responses posts that you can post on social media or put in your emails or put in your smart plans, all in like 20 minutes, if that, because we started a little bit late. So if you want to change out the listing again, we'll go back. What was that listing, Tori? 1030 Earl? East Earl?
1030 East Earl, yeah.
All right, so here is that listing again. Let's say this time you want to do add whatever picture you want. Let's just say this is this is kind of like a grand picture here. Oh, I clicked it and didn't plug and play. So you just, again, click and drag, it'll replace the picture, right? So if you want to do the kitchen, for example, you can replace it like that. I kind of like this picture, so we'll just leave it. And then easily, again, just listed, you want to pop in the address. You would just type right in here. It pulls the typewriter function up again, and you just put in the address. The nice thing too is if you, again, go to the listing details, all this stuff is already on here, so you don't have to like go back and forth on all the texts. So this is 1030 East Earl Street, number 32, Philadelphia, PA 19125. Save changes. So that goes right into the box there. And this is, I don't love that square footage. That's a little too on the nose there. So let's say it's 4 beds. For beds, we'll do 3 point, no, not 23. That's a lot of baths. We'll do 3.5 baths. 3,666. And, oh, Tor, is this a rental?
I don't think so.
Because the price came up as if it's a rental. So let's call it, this might be a rental link for some reason.
Yeah, it is a rental.
It is a rental?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say it's not a rental and let's just call it $400,000. And you should always put like a nice little blurb here, you know, let's say newly renovated, or let's call it new construction, even though it doesn't look like new construction. Let's call it new construction. Save. And then you can extend this out if you like, but you want it to fit in between these little these little black lines to keep it aesthetically pleasing. And then pop in your logo, make that way smaller. So again, a couple minutes. I think I started this at 1:34. 4 minutes in, you have a really nice post that you can share out to the world about your newly listed home. Does anybody have any questions on like this part of the designs? And I wanted this to be a little bit interactive. I'm going to open this up so I can see people's faces.
You're doing a great job, Branden.
Thanks. It's always weird when you can't see people. But I just wanted to at least let people kind of get a feel for the ease of use in this part of designs. You can get seriously as like crazy as you want with this stuff. Some people, like I know some people get really crazy and they create like everything custom themselves, and you can 100% do that. Joe, you gotta get a hammer. If you click on the circle in the logo library, yeah, it was not doing that for some reason, but you can definitely resize it easily. On the first 2, it pulled right in and resized, and these last 2 for some reason didn't. So I almost wonder if when the template was created, they just put in a picture of the logo instead of like the logo function. But either way, it's okay. So I want to dive into the next thing in designs I think is really, really cool. Again, there are so many templates in there that if you just want to do like a share your app post or something like that, like you can easily do that. There's really cool little like local say market snapshots, neighborhood snaps. Like there's so much in here. I really suggest you just take a little bit and just like dive in and just like click around and see what you like. And the best part is the formatting feature. So make sure that if you're thinking like, okay, cool, I want to post this on Facebook, click Facebook, because it's going to be a different size format than if you were to click Instagram. And what I really like, and they didn't have this initially when they the Instagram functionality, but they actually have it to where you can click like and set it up to be an Instagram story format. So play around with this stuff. There's so much in here, but the whole point of that is wanted to show you guys like how easy it was to make them. Let me get out of the designs tab here. And now Courtney has all these designs for Fishtown places. But I want to show you guys kind of quickly what it looks to make a landing page. And then there's a reason I'm going in this order, but if you were to make a landing page in designs, it does not take very long. And let's say you want to do, I'll do social again, it's fine. Oh, my apologies. I did click in the wrong spot. So if you go to the consumer function, which is the second to last option, and this grayed out option, the listing console, is coming very soon, and I'm very excited about it. So once, just a brief like teaser, once this listing console feature is available, you can put listing information in, and it'll actually create, there's already listing presentation and buyer presentation templates in designs you can modify, but this will actually create a legit, like by the numbers, solid listing console that you can then go take on your listing presentations. But if you want to create a new site, so the reason that one would create a landing page is maybe for like an event you're doing or for a lead generation thing. But when you're going to capture listings, it's a good tool to have in your back pocket that it's going to have its own website, right? Which I know there already is like the link URL, even from like showing from Bright and things like that. But you can give them a customized website that you can share out on your social media or create Facebook campaigns for. So minimize you guys again. So all this is, and again, this is another thing where you can get as creative and crazy as you want. I am not that. There's people a lot better at that than me. But if you just want to do something quick, first thing you're going to want to do is just put in the branded header, which will pull in your logo. Can be pulled in here as well if it's sized correctly, but it's okay if it just says KW for now for this exercise. And keep in mind that as you're going through these, you're not going to be able to edit them on this page. People struggle with that sometimes. They want to just like get in and edit them really quickly, but you're not going to be editing them on this page. You'll edit them when you click configure widgets. So let's say this is a landing page for a listing. Right, so you just pull in the widget, and again, you're not going to edit here, but it does already pull in square footage, bathrooms, bedrooms, year built, that key information. And let's say you want to then add, delete that. It pulls in all of this data on the listing, and it pulls from the MLS. What's nice is it has the scrolling already pictures. It has every picture that they want. It has your description that you put in there for the listing. key details of the listing and also a map as to where the listing is. Obviously, this one that automates is in Austin, and I've thought about this a lot when I'm doing these things. And this listing, if it's real, gets so much views. This is like the most viewed listing on the planet. But let's say you want to go one better, and you want to put in 50% of the studies are showing now from NAR that roughly 50% of the reason people buy a home is because of the neighborhood that it's in, right? So you already know that the KW app is very neighborhood based, which does make it a superior search function or consumer engagement platform than the other apps on the market because they're not neighborhood focused. So utilize that app for that reason. But if you want to give a little neighborhood update or market snap to here, you can just add the market snap feature, and we'll scroll down on here. So now there's a market snap on that neighborhood, right? So now this is the Barton Hills area of Austin. So again, it gives you a good update based on the realtor.com or the neighborhood next door content. You can put a little download your app in here if you like. So now it's just a quick download your app with a quick description of the app. So let's say you didn't want, and then you want to add local expert to it. And you wouldn't add all these things to everyone, obviously, but just for this experiment. So this pulls your, it also has to download your app. So let's say you want to do here, you want to delete that. So now you have your headshot, your name, team name, contact information. But this pulls directly from your marketing profile, right? So you don't have to edit any of this, but make sure you have your bio the way you want it in your marketing profile because that's how it pulls up when you do these type of things. And then obviously the download your app feature. So say you go to configure the widgets. This will then pull you through and allow you to configure all the widgets. And we will, realtor, I don't know her license number offhand. Her bio, phone number, it's already on there because of this. And we'll save and apply. Oh. She's too wordy. But either way, this is where you go into actually, we don't need to necessarily do that because this isn't going to be actually put online, but that's where you would edit that. And you would just go through each phase to edit the neighborhood that you're going to be in. So we'll do that listing again. What was the zip code for that listing, Tori? Was it like 19125? Are you still there?
It was, I don't know where she is, but it was 19125.
Okay. And that was Fishtown North. Call this neighborhood home. So it's going to do its deal. It's going to configure the widget. So now there's a market snap of Fishtown North. This is still the listing side, but here's the market snap on Fishtown North, right? So it's already built in, and obviously you would do the same for the listing. You would browse the listing, search the listing. In the interest of time, I won't do that, but you pull listing in, and it would pull the first picture. It's usually the one that comes up first. If you have on the MLS, you could change that, obviously, but it'll pull in all that data that it shows on here. So all of the key data about the property, all the photography again, and all the details and features. And on this header, you can actually put whatever you want in here. So if you want to put 1030 East Earl, You can put that in there and save and apply, and this will come up right in the middle here. So you can put the address or welcome to your new home, or you won't want to miss this, or whatever you want to put there. But what this does is it creates a for your listings. And you can actually use this landing page as your lead generation tool when you get into your Facebook campaigns. So the other nice thing on here, and I'll go back and I won't say the changes, but I want to just, so this is more for when we're back to doing open houses again, right? But I want to show you how to easily create in like 2 minutes an open house sign-in sheet. So again, you put your branding header in. The big thing here is the lead form. So you can put whatever you want in this text here, but first name, last name, email address, phone number, and a note. So you can ask them to leave any comments on the house. And there's actually if you look in designs, there's actually lead, if you want to use print open house forms, they're actually printable open house flyers you can make that says, like, on a scale of 1 to 5, what's the value of the home? How's the bathroom? How's the kitchen? So on and so forth. So you can utilize that. This tool that I'm using here is to actually capture people's information, right? And once anybody fills out a lead capture form on here, it immediately goes into the your command platform. So when you put the listing in, you would just do the same thing, pull the listing over, and you'd have the listing for that home that you're in. So let's say you're in 300 Hilltop View. You'd have the listing, you'd have a lead capture form, and your name at the top. And I obviously suggest that people include the your local expert tab and put that underneath the listing. So now they're seeing the listing that you have, that they're at, right? A sign-in sheet for putting their information that feeds directly into into command that you can then set up a smart plan for. And underneath all of it, if you put your local expert in here at the bottom, and it updates, once it configures, which it takes a second sometimes, you'll have all of your information in there already too. So these are really easy to make. It takes a couple minutes, and you can create a really good website for your clients' listings, and also for like any type of lead generation content. The last thing I want to run through, because we have a couple more minutes, are campaigns. So campaigns are huge, right? More people are on social media with the shutdown and shelter in places around the country and things like that. More people are on social media than ever before, and the lead capture rate is getting higher because of the Facebook algorithms in partnership with KW Command, and the per lead costs are getting even lower. About a month ago, they were around $2.22 per capture lead, which is like legit phone number, email, name. Now they're actually down to almost $1 because the algorithm's getting better and better and better. There are 2 types of campaigns you can do: social posts, well, at least for social media. That's where I want to keep the focus at. You can also set up your emails through here, your direct mail, and like I said, social posts. So these little videos or pictures are really, really easy. I clicked it by accident. Are really, really easy to create. This little video here is super cute. So if you want to create this video, you'd search a neighborhood, and we'll go back to Fishtown North. Fishtown North. It's going to pull the data. If there's ever any data that you think is a little off because it updates every day, like there was a big change or something like that, you want to put that. So these little neighborhood features are the 3 things that on Nextdoor people are saying the most about this neighborhood. If you want to add a different thing, if you know that's a really good networking neighborhood or artsy, like there's a whole drop down full of stuff they can choose from, and you'll see what that translates to. Your agent information already going to be in here. Again, because your marketing profile. And the brokerage information is already going to be in here because your marketing profile. So this takes about 10 seconds to create. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play it. I don't know if you'll be able, it has like a little music to it. I don't know if you'll be able to hear the music through my computer, but that's irrelevant. So in literally 10 seconds, 15 seconds, I created this little video, which I'll mute because it's really loud in my ear. But it's a cute little video that you can put on social media. I've seen people have good results from it. People love video content. Big thing about these videos, if you saw at the very, very beginning, the date was like the first thing that you see. So make sure that you can schedule out these posts, but don't schedule out this video post because it's going to be, the date's going to be off and it's going to be weird. But you get the general point. It's a really cute little description of the neighborhood, of the area, has the app, download, has your name at the end, so it's all branded to you. Took no time to make, and you can easily push that out into your social media. Same goes for any of the other social posts. You probably can't see me because I'm pointing, but any of these other social posts that you want to create. The paid ads, I just want to cover in, I can do it in 4 minutes, but I want to cover some of the key things in the campaign. So we'll call it test campaign. None of this matters as far as the targeting goes for your ads. The only reason they have these different options is so you can actually keep track of where the leads and what's getting, what's working the best for you on the back end. So let's say you want to advertise a new listing that you just got. You're going to do it on Facebook. Set your campaigns. We're going to do the search again. In the interest of time, we're just going to select this one. All right, so it's already formatted. This is what the post will look like on the website, like if you're on Facebook on your computer or your tablet. And you can even preview the mobile version. So this is exactly what this post is going to look like on the mobile version if people are scrolling on their phone. It already has the logo built into it, which is nice, so you don't have to plug and play that either. So the ad text, it's going to pull in the information that that you have as your description. What's really important about the main copy is that this is what most people are going to see. So you're going to want to make sure this says something important about the home. Great home in a great neighborhood. It's your opportunity to own it. We're in real estate, so we can get cute with descriptions. But you're going to want to put that in here. The headline is what's going to be this black bold area. We'll just type in something at a great home, great neighborhood. This home might not be a great home. Great price. So here's a little tip that I've learned on some of these Facebook pages about command your conversion specifically. They've run side-by-side experiments with the same picture, same word, same everything. If you want the best results from your Facebook campaigns, you're going to want to put the price of the home in the headline or in the description, but mostly the headline because it's going to be on every page this is on. So what that does is on social media, because of new laws in place over the last year or so, you can't target as specifically as you used to be able to target. From geographics and also from like income levels, you can't discriminate on social media. But when you put in a price, people that are qualified at that price are going to be more inclined to click on your ad. So it's still going to go in front of everybody, but people that are able actually to really be interested are going to be interested. So that's a good tip. They've run, again, side by side, and literally like they're getting double, triple, quadruple the lead capture just by having a price in, by not having a price in. So it's something to think about. We'll just do whatever here for time. All right, so save ad text. Add media, so this is the photography basically. This will pull all the pictures from the listing. Again, it's only going to pull the first picture to be here initially, but you can pick whatever picture you want. You can add multiple pictures, but it already pulls your logo. So the Facebook ad part, this is where you would pick what page you want it to go on, so you can see this is exactly what it's going to look like. Logo or branded to you. It's going to say sponsored. It's not going to say from KW API or anything like that. Just going to say sponsored. So this is where I was talking about you could use a landing page. So the most successful Facebook posts are actually just using lead generation forms on Facebook. And the reason for that is the people that people are more inclined to put in their information if they don't have to leave the page. If you have to leave the page, they're much less inclined to actually put in their information. So again, something to remember. Learn more from call to action is the most successful call to action that's been found so far. And obviously you can put your website in here as a follow-up destination. So they'll click here, they can do the lead gen form right on Facebook, and then they can go right onto your website if they keep clicking through. Now the other thing you can do is you can actually put your, again, learn more is always the best. You can, if you made a landing page for that listing with a capture form, you can actually put that landing page right into your ad. So when they click learn more, it goes to that listing's landing page. What's nice about that is you can see what they're doing and track their activity in command. And if they get to that landing page, they would have had to create a contact, right? They would have had to put in some information. So you'll pull that information, and all of that pulls directly into command. So you'll get a little notification here that says you have a new lead or says you have a new contact. It's difficult, again, to get crazy targeting, but what you want to do is choose between targeting a custom audience, or you can actually target your database. So if you have a really strong database in there with their email addresses and phone numbers, it'll target target your database based on their email address associated with Facebook. So if you have a 2,000 person database and you know that you want to get this new listing that you just got out to them quickly, you can target just them. If you do a custom target, you'll obviously have to choose. It's always going to pick the area that your listing's in, which makes the most sense. You can increase or decrease the radius. The lowest you can get to is 15-mile square radius, which is good because it gets you people. So in the city, you can get people from the suburbs to look at it. From the suburbs, you can get people to the city to look at it. You can add interest though, and this is where you can kind of get a little creative on the interest level. So this really allows you to be able to somewhat get it a little bit more specific to who you want to get to, right? So if you know that your target audience is, if it's new construction, maybe you want to do building, you want to do building materials, so that way they, new construction is a lot of materials, people are looking at tile floors versus marble floors, whatever, and let's say business. You can target as many of these things as you want. It will get you better results because it'll get in front of people who are more inclined towards whatever those targets are. And then literally you just send away, publish how long you want it to be out for. Oh, I didn't click one of the buttons, that's okay. They recommend that you do a 10-day campaign for $30, which would be $1 per day. It should get you the best results. Keep in mind that the offer for a $25 match on your Facebook ads is still open for KW Philadelphia. So if you go on here and you want to do a test and you want to run $25 worth of Facebook ads on your new listing or one of your colleagues' listings, or a neighborhood snapshot, or your app, or whatever you want to run your ad on, if you spend $25, KW Philadelphia is going to give you $25 back, right? So keep that in mind and take advantage of it if you can. The other thing is you don't want to do this too short. anything less than 7 days isn't really going to get you the results, because as each day goes on, it's going to be retargeting your posts, which helps from an efficiency standpoint. So you should do at least $25 so you can get a match over at least 10 days or at least 7 days, and then you just save. And once you're done, this is the preview. So you don't have to go to another screen to preview. It's just going to be right here. Preview what it looks like on mobile and preview what it looks like on the web. And if you're happy with it, publish away, right? Obviously, you have to have your Facebook connected to it. I know that was a lot, but I hope that at least gives you a feel for, over the course of an hour, I'll stop sharing, but over the course of an hour, we created 4 or 5 different social posts or emails or just pictures, images that you can create, that you can send out. We created landing pages, and we created Facebook social posts and Facebook ads, right? So if you took an hour a day to work on marketing, or a couple hours a week to work on marketing, you can pump out like a lot of high quality content just by using the Designs platform. What questions do we have? We're a couple minutes over, and I respect everybody's time, but I have a couple minutes to answer any questions you have, any comments. I'll flip through the. Yeah, so Jen, that's a good point. If you are making a lot of these, definitely name it in the top left corner so you can easily search it and share for it and share it later on. I was just going through pretty quickly. The information that comes up when you type in the neighborhood, it pulls the neighborhood from next door and the information from the MLS. Most times it's right. There are a few neighborhoods in next door that are a little bit funky, so the actual boundaries, geographic boundaries of the neighborhood might be a little bit weird. So it might not pull like the best information. So but you're able to edit all of that information. So if you know, because you're the market expert in that area, that's a little off, that's okay. Just edit it. The key there is just getting the actual picture of the content. Alexa will send you a logo. Joe, get a better camera. And yeah, so does anybody have any other fleeting questions, any comments? I hope this was helpful. The whole thing was, I mean, I could spend a whole entire day going over all the different designs options. There's so much in there. A big problem a lot of agents have and run into is they want things done quickly, and they're not always the most creative people in the world, right? So go into there, just check out designs. We have some time now, right? While the market still kind of ramps back up a little bit. Check out the different templates and just use them as you need to use them. But just start to get a feel for, if you have a new listing, there's a template for it. If you want to market your app, there's a template for it. And what's really cool, and we didn't dive into this, but you can, like I said earlier, briefly, you can create your actual physical material as well. Not just social posts, not just emails, but if you want to put together flyers or door hangers or postcards or anything like that, you can easily do that all in Command using those templates. And you can get as crazy and creative as you want, or use what the best realtors in the company are creating for you. So those are really your choices. There's a whole marketing department on working behind the scenes to make sure this is all really nice and really easy to utilize. If you create something really cool, like Corey Hort, he is an agent with KW Washington Township. When you go on your dashboard and there's a new designs or updated designs, his designs actually one of the newest, coolest updated designs the whole company is now using. So like if you start to create that type of content, you want to get really custom with it, like just know like you can be helping agents all around the company create better marketing. If there are no fleeting questions, feel free to email me or text me or call me if you need anything, but I hope this was good. I hope you were able to take something and you can just go bang out some designs. Thanks everybody for coming on.
Hey, Brando.
Yep.
Thanks,
Yo.
Brandon.
Joe, you got something?
I see that you're recording. Where is this going to live?
YouTube, brother. Everything goes on YouTube.
Just search
So if
you, or
Search Keller Williams Philadelphia. So
Sick.
if you miss any training, like literally we record every one.
cool.
So
Awesome.
yeah, man. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Brandon. Thank you.
You're welcome.